What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Welcome back to the instant match reaction. I am here with Amir. Spurs have just drawn by 1 goal apiece with Newcastle out in Korea. That is the pre-season tour done and dusted. A very emotional day in Seoul, in Korea. Sonny's last ever game for Tottenham Hotspur, and you saw the outpouring of emotion everywhere from the Spurs players, even the Newcastle players, the coaching staff, the fans. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. 65,000 fans getting up to their feet to applaud Son Heung-min for the unbelievable service that he's given to this football club. 10 years of absolute magic, from making his debut to the Golden Boot, to the Puskas Award, to getting the captaincy, to lifting that trophy in Bilbao. What a career this man has had at Tottenham Hotspur, and I can't believe that I'm sitting here and saying that is the last time that we're going to see him. We didn't get him the goal that maybe we wanted to see, but it's just a very sad day for Tottenham Hotspur. But at least we all got to witness it. You know, as I said before, and as the old cliche goes, don't cry because it's over, be happy because it's happened. And we all should be very happy because it's happened, because we got to witness 10 years of Son Heung-min, who was just an incredible talent, a world-class talent, who became an unbelievable leader, a talisman for Tottenham Hotspur. Incredible leadership that he showed on that run to the Europa League final, and in that season in general. Season before, when he made the number 9, scoring 17, 18 goals. Pure consistency. One of, if not the best finisher the Premier League has ever seen whilst he was in the Premier League. Pure loyalty. You won't ever see loyalty like Son Heung-min again. 10 years he's given to a club that even at some points looked like they weren't going in the right direction. He signed a contract when all looked lost, when players like Harry Kane were looking to leave. So from the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank Sonny enough for the service that he's given this football club. And he goes on, and he hasn't lost a fan. He hasn't lost a fan in the house. Every single Spurs fan are going to be following him everywhere he goes and wishing him the best success in whatever he does. And if anyone deserves the outpouring of emotion, it's him.
Ben, it's going to be very hard to top those words. Do you know what? I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to keep it very, very short and sweet. Thank you, Sonny. You're a legend. You're an absolute example for all of the youth out there, and for anyone trying to make it in the game, and for anyone just trying to be a decent human being. Well, you've got someone there to emulate in Sonny. He's just everything he's brought to this club for the last 10 years. We've enjoyed it week in, week out, and wherever he goes, Sonny's just going to bring that enthusiasm, that warmth, the smiles, the happiness to wherever he goes. So, you know, I'm just, from the deepest depths of my heart, I'm going to say thank you, Captain Sonny, and good luck wherever it is that you do end up to choose to go to. They're going to be lucky to have you, mate. You're a star. You're a legend.
Absolutely. So goodbye, Sonny. Thank you, Sonny, for everything that you've done. You will forever be etched in the history books at Tottenham Hotspur. 100%. You'll forever be a Tottenham legend, up there with the very greatest of Tottenham legends as well, spoken in the same breath as the Graham Robertses of this world, as the Ledley Kings of this world, as the Bill Nicholsons, the Keith Birkinshaws, all the legends that we speak, the Jimmy Greaves, the Danny Blanchflowers. Now you add Son Heung-min to the legends of Tottenham Hotspur.
100%.
Along with Harry Kane as well. So, in my opinion, Sonny is the biggest legend, Premier League legend of my lifetime. And it's sad. It's sad to see him go, but we have to move on at some point. We knew this day was going to come at some point, and this day has finally arrived.
Yep.
So that is that. Thank you, Sonny. That's all I can say. Thank you, Sonny. Big shoes to fill moving forward. Who gets that number 7 shirt is going to be a heavy number to put on your back. Whoever takes that up next.
Very tough.
It's going to be impossible to emulate and to follow on from Sonny. You can't, like we mentioned before, you can't replace Sonny.
You can't.
He's irreplaceable.
Irreplaceable.
So that's that on Son Heung-min. But there was a game that we played today.
There was.
Finished 1-1. And I felt like the second half, it didn't really get going. So I think like the first half is probably what we're going to focus on more. But I felt like Newcastle were probably the better team in the first half, creating the better openings. But I felt like where Spurs looked dangerous was nicking the ball back in the middle of the park and working on the transitions. And that is where the first goal came from, very early doors. Kevin Danso, unbelievable work rate in the middle of the park to win that ball back, finds its way to Brennan Johnson. He nicks it in it, and it takes a deflection off Dan Burn, and it finds its way in the back of the net. And I feel like that is where Spurs are looking at their most dangerous at this moment in time, is nicking the ball back in the middle of the park and springing on the transition.
Yeah, that is where we look most dangerous, Ben. If we can keep winning that ball in those dangerous areas, kind of around the halfway line to the penalty box of the opponent, and if we can win it back, it's just a matter of 2 or 3 good passes and you're in. So if we can continue that, work on that, but also, try and mix it up with a little bit more of, kind of play out from the back and bringing the ball forward. Because one thing that did frustrate me today, I have to admit, there were 2 main things. But the main thing that frustrated me was when we were knocking it long, we didn't have an outlet. So Tell was just getting beaten to the ball every time. It's not his fault either. You're aiming it at someone who can't do what you're asking him to do. So that was very frustrating, and of course I think we'll get into it, but towards the end of that game, James Maddison comes on the pitch, and 10 minutes in or something like that, he drops to the floor. We don't quite know what the injury is, but he was stretchered off, his hands covering his face. It did not look good at all, guys. And for me, what was the one thing we said before the game? We said, just get out with no injuries. And we couldn't do it. We're so unlucky. I start to think we're cursed, Ben. Honestly, last season, the injuries were crazy. This season, we haven't even started the season and we've already started. So I'm really, really worried about James Maddison. I just want to wish him a speedy recovery, very speedy recovery, and hopefully it's not as bad as what we first thought.
Yeah, because he looked absolutely distraught.
He's
in tears. All the players around him looked really worried. Sonny on the sideline looked really worried. And yeah, it's just heartbreaking because Maddison is just about getting back to full fitness after getting that injury in the Europa League run. And now he's down, which looks like a really horrific injury. Yeah, I echo your sentiment and what you say, that let's just hope that it's not as bad as everyone first feared, but it does look like a bad one.
It does.
It really does.
Don't want to sugarcoat it.
And look, that just brings to our attention even more. We were looking for one before with, the Morgan Gibbs-White situation and everything like that. Bring in a 10. Now it's an even more pressing issue. We need to bring in that number 10
100%.
To start the season, because you're looking at the way Spurs are progressing the ball up the pitch, and there is a lack of creativity in that midfield without Maddison, because we were calling, bring Maddison on, we need more creativity. And there was a lack of it, and there has been a lack of it all pre-season with the lack of pure number 10. And now, with him injured, with Decky injured, we don't know when Decky's going to be back. There is just little to next to no creativity in the side. I thought Archie Gray was doing a really good job at trying to progress the ball, find those little pockets of spaces and try to spray that ball. But he's not a James Maddison.
No, he's not a James Maddison, and he did fantastic, but you can't pin your whole season on a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What Spurs need to do now, and us as fans, this is our responsibility, Ben. We need to go out and sign a world-class number 10 now. Now. We need to be on the case now. The player needs to be brought in before the start of the season. They need to start gelling with the squad. Maddison's out for God knows how long. We need to find a replacement for that. It's as simple as that.
It's essential. It's essential for our outlook of the season, because I see people in the comments say, oh, can't Odegaard play there? Can't Kudus play there? We want them out wide. We want them in their best positions. We want to bring in a natural 10 that can come in and create chance after chance after chance for us. We need to bring one in at the utmost of priority right now. It's like literally it could be detrimental to our season if we don't bring one in right now. That's how much of a pressing issue it is.
100%.
So my heart goes out to James Maddison, but if
we need to prepare.
Yeah, we need to be fully prepared for the season, and that means bringing in a 10. That is the most urgent and pressing issue right now. And I would say more than even a left winger, because Sonny, I know you need to replace Sonny, and you need to you need to have that succession plan for Sonny. But we literally just don't have a 10 that can take to the pitch next week in Udine.
No.
We don't have one.
We don't.
So we need to bring one in before that PSG game. It's unbelievable what's happening. You got a Doggy out, you got Kulusevski out, you got Maddison out. Injuries already starting to stack up for Tottenham Hotspur. It really is a kick in the teeth. And what can you do? It is what it is, but Spurs need to act fast. We need to really act fast. In terms of what you saw today in the structure, the defensive structure, did you like what you saw?
Yeah, there were elements of the game that I definitely enjoyed. I think we do look a lot more defensively stable, and our positioning as well at the back allows for challenges to be made. We're not always running back. We're kind of we're on the front foot defensively. The thing I most liked about this structure is us winning the ball back in the opponent's half. So we were very good today. Whether that was the midfield players, Archie Gray, your Bergvals when he came on, Sarr when he was in there winning the ball back, we seem to be really making a good effort of pushing that press as far as we can forward, and then as soon as that ball gets played into their midfield, we're on it, we're snapping at their feet, and that's where the goal came from, like you said. So very good elements in that side of things. Areas that we need a little bit of improvement. For me, we lacked a bit of a threat from set pieces today. I'm not sure quite why that is. Maybe because your Richies and Solankis aren't around. In terms of some of the attacking play as well, I think you're looking at some of the combinations between players that just they haven't had enough time to play with each other to really have the one touch and know where the other player is going to be. That kind of that Kane-Sonny relationship that takes time to build. So I think there's certain aspects where I'm saying, okay, fantastic, you can see the obvious improvements, and then there's areas where I think there's room for improvement as well. I
know Villa. I know Newcastle were able to create some chances against us today, but I don't have too many worries about the defensive structure of the team moving forward. Where my worries do lie is in terms of the forward line. You're looking at the players that started today. Obviously, Sonny won't be here next season. It was Archie Gray in a 10 and Brennan Johnson out wide with Tell up top. I just don't see what Tell brings you as a number 9. I just don't think he's got the skill set to play as a number 9. I want to see him more out wide, and I do think he can give something to the team where you're out wide when he's out wide, and I do suspect that Frank can get a lot of him in the wide areas. It's just a shame that Solanke's out injured at this moment in time. He will be back very, very soon. Richarlison obviously played the game on Thursday, so we wanted to give minutes to other players. So Tell played the number 9 today. Brennan Johnson on the right wing. I mean, I just think he's had a shocking pre-season so far, and he's just not offering much on the pitch.
He got us the goal, though.
He got us the goal, yeah.
He got us the goal. I do understand where your frustrations are coming from. I think there's elements of Brennan's game where he does really need to improve. However, saying that, I think he's got a crucial role to play in our team.
Of course he does.
If you look at the amount of numbers, that he gave last season, if he can look to emulate that or go better, then I think he's got a huge role to play for us. Are there elements? Look, we all talk about Frank being a good manager with man management and coaching players to be better. So for me, he's one of the ones that I'm looking at saying, okay, Frank, if you can coach this guy. Because there's certain elements, his first touch, his concentration, the ball, the simple 5-10 yard ball to Sonny that he messed up. It's things like that I want to see Brennan improve on his game. And if he can do that, I think he can go from strength to strength. It is about working on, individual kind of points that will bring his game up to a certain level. I thought today Archie Gray, phenomenal, spraying the ball around, biting back in challenges as well, winning the ball high up. Thought he did really well. Bergvall looked very bright when he came on. I really like the look of him.
Yeah.
Hyuk as well, when he comes on, he looks lively, Hyuk. He looks very pacey. So a lot of positives to take from today. It's just that one big glaring negative that is like looming over us like a dark cloud, and that's James Maddison. It's just we can't buy our luck, can we? No,
we can't. It's just one after the next, to be honest, and it's just so frustrating.
Every time it's us. Every time.
And this is not a new thing. It's happened all the way through last season. It happened the year before as well.
Yep.
It's just non-stop injuries. And it's just so frustrating as a Spurs fan. Just as you think you're going to get back to near full fitness, another one goes, and another one goes, and another one goes. It's just never ending. It really is never ending. But look, the best chance that Spurs did fall to Matisse Tell with, again, unbelievable work in the middle of the park to win it back. Tell does really well to get himself in a one-on-one situation. He had so much time and space to think about what he was going to do. Pretty much from just inside that half. He runs at Nick Pope, and then he does some silly step over, and then just tries to slot it down the side of Nick Pope, and it's a really good save. But with that much time and space, Tell has got to be doing better. He's got to be doing better.
If you're a number 9, if you're telling me you're a number 9 and you want to play as a number 9,
you got to put that in
every day of the week. That ball needs to go in the back of the net. I don't care how you do it either. I don't care whether you do 2 step overs and then put it in the left side. I don't care whether you chip the keeper. I don't care whether you go on power and you just smash it into the goal. I don't care how you score in a one-on-one. Just make sure you score. And that's what he forgot to do today, Tell. Because he does. He comes up to Nick Pope. He does a little step over and he thinks, you know what, I'm going to pass it into the side. But Nick Pope's aware. He didn't buy the step over. He didn't dive anywhere. Then Tell passes it and Nick just sticks a leg out and he blocks it. So Tell, you've got to be doing better from those situations, mate. I hope this is a lesson for the future. And look, I want to back this guy. When he came from Bayern Munich, I thought he looked really good at Bayern when I was watching him there. Some of the things he was doing, shifting past players and having shots and crosses, and really, really bright. He hasn't lit it up since he's come to Spurs.
Very young player still, though.
Very young player. A lot of development. Again, I'm looking at Frank to get the best out of Tell. When it comes to his attitude, I think he has a fantastic attitude. Top-notch attitude. Fantastic. And I do think that he's got a very bright future ahead of him, Tell. Just don't let things like today, that kind of missed opportunity get to your head, because the best strikers of yesteryear, they will miss an easy chance, but then the next one, they go again, and they will score. You look back at how many chances Harry Kane missed in a season. Some seasons he could have got 50, 60 goals, Ben, because he will miss chances before he gets his goals. So, Matthias, I want to see a bit more from you, and hopefully, we'll find your best position for you, whether that's out on the wing or whether that is as a 9. We'll find it, and you can really grow and develop and grow as a player.
Another player that actually really impressed me today when he came on was Odebear. I think Odebear was getting the ball in really nice areas. He was putting some lovely balls between the lines, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And when he was talking about a creative spark and a creative outlet, when he came on, he definitely showed that.
He did show that. He did well, Wilson. And again, another young player who I think's got a long way to go. His kind of skill set is a bit different to Tell's. The way he can get past players, very, very quick, very rapid. I feel like his decision making is something that needs a bit of working on, but he'll get there as well. Give him some time. He's only, 22, 23?
No, he's younger. He's like 20.
20? Oh, still very young, very young. I thought he was a bit older. Very young.
Yeah. So, look, all in all, not the greatest game of football today, but Newcastle, you would say, definitely had the better of the first half. Second half, I think there was not much in it. I think both teams made a lot of changes, and the kind of the rhythm of the game was gone. But at the end of the day, we get out, we don't lose, still unbeaten in pre-season. One more pre-season left to go against Bayern Munich next Thursday. We'll see what happens there. But that's our reaction to the game. Obviously, Son Heung-min, once again, thank you for everything that you've given to this football club. James Maddison, my heart goes out to you as well. But the key message here is to the board of Tottenham Hotspur. Go get us a number 10.
Now.
Because we desperately need it.
Now, get us a number 10. Now.
Yeah.
And get James Maddison the best bloody doctors and medical staff around him to get him back and fit and firing as quick as possible as well.
Absolutely. So that is our instant match reaction. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Just before we move on to the guests, and just to let people know, the link is in the live chat right now if you want to come on and have your say. We've got a couple of super chats to bring you. Andrew Din says, who will our new number 7 be, or should Spurs retire the number 7? I mean, I don't think we should retire the number 7. I just think we need to find a good kind of number 7 to fill that shirt, but it's got to be someone that can hold that weight of that number.
I just got a player that popped into my mind, but you're gonna laugh.
Go on.
You're gonna laugh there.
Go on. Rafael Leao. Why not though?
Get Leao in.
Why not?
Get Leao
why
in.
Not, though? Why
get
not,
him in. Get him in.
Milan have no
Champions League.
No Europe.
No Europe at all.
No Europe at all.
Go get Leao.
They need the money. And second of all, Rafael Leao, there has been reports this summer that he wants to leave the club.
Go get him.
There's no one else I can't see anyone else linked with him seriously.
Go get him.
Go get him, man. Go get him. Scorpion Fan for Live says Son was a player no one could hate, not even rival fans. He was one of the nicest guys in the game.
True.
So many special moments and magic goals. Legend.
100%.
Here's a super chat from one of our Korean family, and he says, I'll always support Spurs, even Son leaves the team. We've been supporting for 10 years. It's impossible to change to another team now.
Big up.
From Korea.
Big up.
To you.
Come on,
Big
guys.
up to you.
Big up.
And thank you very much for the super chat. Kamsamnida. Malware says, get Eze now. Throw the kitchen sink at him. Whatever it takes. We need him more than ever. Come on, you Spurs.
100%. Big up Malware, 100%. That's what we need to do right now.
Mate, I would love that more than anything if we could get Eberechi Eze through the door.
But that's what we need to do, Ben. That's what we need to do. And if Arsenal are thinking of getting him, no. Let's get us in there first. You know what I mean? No. Piss off. You've made your signings. You've bought your Zubamendis. You've bought your Goycores Coventry guys. You know, get out of here with that, man. Let us go get Eberechi. And you had him anyway. You had him and you let him go. So, yeah.
Exactly.
He's gone. He's gone.
Bobby K, member for 41 months. Big up to Bobby.
Big up, Bobby.
Big up, boys. Much love, Sonny. Club legend. Absolutely spot on.
Oh, yeah.
Another super chat here says, why did we sign Tell? I like Tell, to be honest. I know he didn't have the greatest game today, but I don't think he's a number 9. But I think at left wing, I think you'll see the true value of Matisse Tell, in my opinion. And I think Frank can bring him on leaps and bounds.
I hope so.
And ID 1991 says Gray was fantastic in the first half. He was probably our best player, wasn't he?
He was our best player in that first half, yeah.
All right. Now it's time for you guys to have your say. Let's bring Stephen in. How you doing, Stephen?
Hi, guys. You're right.
Yeah, not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Sad day for our club. Sad day.
Yeah, very sad day.
It was indeed.
Just tell me, what did Sonny mean to you?
Well, he's a legend, isn't he? He's just a legend. That's all you can say. Total legend. Stayed when loads of other players left. Stuck around, won his trophy. Yeah, and fair play. He can go now with his head held high. And I wish him all the best for the future. I really do. So, yeah, he's just a total top guy for me. All round nice guy. So, have you ever met him, Ben?
No, never met him. I wish. No? I wish. He's the one guy that I really wish I could meet in the Spurs squad. What a man. What a legend. And you know that, Steve, that term legend as well, it just gets banded about way too easily, right? But there's no one more fitting than Sonny for that term, isn't there?
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, like I said though, he like you say, he stuck around when all the other players thought, no, do you know, even Kane was like, no, I want to go and win things. He was the one that stuck through everything, all the hard times, and he got what he deserved in May by lifting that trophy, getting that trophy parade, like down the high road. So yeah, fair play to him. He stuck around. Right time for him to leave, and I just hope he has every success where he goes next. And I hope he comes back at some day in some capacity with the club. So because he deserves it. So and get him that statue. He needs that statue. Kane can get a mural.
Absolutely.
Give Sonny that statue outside the ground.
Absolutely.
How are you feeling about pre-season, guys?
Well, that's what I was about to ask you, Stephen. I was about to ask you. You know, five games in now, 3 League One teams that we've played: Arsenal on Thursday and now Newcastle today. How do you feel we're shaping up?
Improvement. There's been a lot of improvement. There's still some things we need to work on, but yeah, I've seen a lot of improvement this season, this pre-season. I'm encouraged, if anything. So I'm looking forward to the new season. But obviously, with Maddison going down today, doesn't look good, does it? So
No.
same old
Ve-
story with injuries.
Very worrying. Very worrying, Stephen. Are there any particular players that you've seen Frank has improved since the time that he's been here?
Porro. I think Porro's done really well. Who else do you think? I thought Archie Gay played well today.
Did very well,
Tell needs to work on his finishing.
Yeah.
for sure.
So, but we've not really seen like anybody like Solanke because obviously he's been out and Doggy's only played 1 game. But yeah, no, I like Buskovich as well. I thought Buskovich, like the first couple of games he played, was really, really solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've seen quite a few encouraging, but as last season, it's just those injuries again that seem to hamper us. Do you know what Maddison? What happened to Maddison? Was it his ACL? Do you think, or is it his knee?
There's no kind of word out about it yet, but it didn't look good. I'll tell you that. It really did not look good. And if he is going to be out for a prolonged amount of time, Kulusevski out as well, no natural creator in the middle of the park for us. Surely it's imperative now Spurs go dip in the market and get that number 10. We nearly did it with Gibbs White, but now it's even more of a necessity, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But will the club do it? Or will the
They
club
have to.
just say, oh, you're fine?
They have to do it. I don't even think there's a question. They have to.
Yeah, we know they have to do it, but this is Daniel Levy, isn't it? You know, like
Yep.
we knew we had to get players in last season and they didn't. And then obviously we had a season like we did. We can't. But Thomas Frank looked really worried, though. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping within the next few... I mean, Daniel Levy was there, wasn't he, today? So
Yeah.
I'm hoping he's like, well, you know... sorry. I'm hoping that he's fine. He does something. So, but what's impressed you about pre-season then?
For me, I think that already he's instilled like a real structure to the team. Defensively, we look solid. I know we gave away a few chances today, but you're looking at this pre-season as a whole, we just look more capable at defending. I think Porro, like you mentioned, at right back, he's looked a lot better defensively, so much more calm and assured. And I just feel like as a defensive structure, we're looking really good. However, I think from an attacking point of view, patterns of play aren't there yet. So I'm expecting the attacking phases of our game to improve a lot, but I'm really liking what I've seen from being able to be set up in a pure defensive structure. It's looking very good from that aspect.
Oh, perfect. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear us, Stephen?
Yeah, sorry, something happened there. I don't know what.
Yeah. But look, I'm happy with the improvements that we've made. Still a lot of work to do to see us go on and achieve the goals that we want. But Stephen, thank you so much for joining us today, mate.
You're welcome, guys. Keep up the good work, yeah?
Big up,
Cheers,
Stephen.
mate.
Big up. Looking forward to the season ahead. Come on.
Next up is Mr. Brian Daigle, everyone. Brian, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, it's going good, buddy. Going good. There's a few things to be disappointed about, isn't there? But apart from that, all good. Apart from that, all good. How are you both, and how's everyone in the chat?
Yeah, look, it's been a day of emotion.
It has indeed.
Let's put it that way. You know, Sonny leaves as an absolute pure bona fide legend of this football club. Just talk to me a bit about Sonny first and foremost. I know if I tell you to speak about Sonny, we could probably speak for hours and hours about the man. But just run me through your emotions of what you were thinking at the moment when he went off the football pitch and see him take to the field for the last ever time as a Spurs player.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, everything's been said about him, about on the pitch and what he means to this football club, hasn't it? With everyone, whether it be social media, their friends, their family, on YouTube, whatever, there's been an outpour of emotion and love for this man. His final game, what a fitting way for him to go. It's a shame he couldn't get on the score sheet. I thought there might have been a dodgy penalty given to him or something, just so he can sign off with a goal. Wasn't to happen. The way he went off the pitch, obviously, we've seen it with people like Gerrard and everyone when they leave the club. It was the fitting place to do it in South Korea. Even the Newcastle players, the fans, the Spurs coaches, the Spurs players, you could see it. And it's just a surreal feeling to think we're not going to see him not only just lead the team out on the pitch again, because that was definitely a completely goodbye. I don't expect to see him play against Munich. No. That was ta-da, see you later. But what I will say is I loved the tribute at the end of it for him. There was a big tribute for him after, and it was just wonderful to see the memories he's given us, the goals he scored, and the legacy he leaves behind him.
I didn't see that tribute. What was it?
Oh, mate, there was, whilst they were showing the stadium, I don't know if people saw it, they did, like the montage to him. I don't know if it was created by Tottenham. I don't know if it was created by the people in South Korea at the stadium, but there was a very, very fitting, emotional tribute to him of a montage of all his moments going through his Spurs career. And it was just so wonderful to see, and he'll be sorely, sorely missed.
Yeah, absolutely. We've just heard from Thomas Frank in the press conference regarding James Maddison. And he says Maddison's injury looks bad. It was a brutal moment. What's your reaction on that devastating news?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, to me, that's him out to at least 2026, at least, if not the season.
Yeah,
we always say when you see the players go down, when they've had no impact with the player, they've literally just gone down. He walked off to the sideline, came back on. That is a very, very, very serious injury. A very, very serious injury, and it's highlighted just how badly we need to get some creative. I mean, we could see during the game, obviously it was a weakened team, but again, like we've been saying all pre-season, what we have been missing is creativity. We haven't seen the proper, fully fit, stitched together team that Frank will choose, but we could see in all games, no matter what kind of formation or players he selected, creativity and that spark was missing. And now with Maddison out, Kulusevski out for a prolonged amount of time, this number 10 now is an absolute, and we're going into the Champions League, this can't be find someone cheap or find someone that has potential. Going into the Champions League now without Maddison and Kulu, this has to be a quality signing, in my opinion. It has to be no more messing around and saying, right, okay, this one could be good in a couple of years. I pick up the phone to Palace and say, whatever do you want? We're going to pay it, or go hijack Simmons, or do something. Some genuine quality needs to be brought into this football club from that position.
Yeah. Do you trust that Spurs are going to go get the job done and get one in? Because we were talking about if Son was to go, a left winger was of top priority, but that priority has just shifted now, hasn't it, massively?
Well, the part where you asked about do I have faith, no comment. No comment. I decline to answer. But you know what? This is why I think Eze makes a lot more sense, because Eze can play both.
Yeah.
Eze can operate on the left. Eze can play centrally. Obviously, we know the links with Arsenal and whatever. Arsenal haven't summed up the money No one has. No one's been prepared to do it. But I don't think it's a case of preparing to do it now. It's a necessity. A player of that caliber or that can offer those two positions with that injury, and again, like we said, with Kulu out for a long time, this number 10/left winger becomes. Remember we were talking before, Ben, and say with Destiny's injury, a left back has become a necessity. Well, that's changed. The whole left side is a necessity now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we still got to get players out. But it is a really, really bad injury to a key player that makes us tick. And like we said, we've been lacking creativity, which showed in this game again today. And we've got to sort something out now. We're running out of time, obviously. And let's hope Spurs do it.
If Eze goes to Arsenal or anywhere else, Daigle, is there anyone else on your radar that you can say will fill in, could fill in for James Maddison?
Do you know what, mate? There's players out there, isn't there? There are players out there. There is no doubt about it. It's just, will Spurs... Leao. Because we all joke about Leao, but when Ben and I did an update, he's on something like 132,000 euros.
He's a left winger, Daigle, not a 10.
Yeah, so but he can play on the left, which is another area we need. Number 10s, mate, Lord knows, but Spurs now need to be active, and they need to, like we said, genuine quality, not potential. You're going into the Champions League. The Champions League don't run off potential.
Look, I'm with you, Daigle. I think Eze is our man. I think he's perfect for what we need.
Yeah.
The question is are we going to just say, there's the 70 million, I don't know, 65, 70 million, there it is, bosh, bring him in, and let's get going.
Well, what we got to remember, do you remember with the Martinez deal? The money was there. Oh, no, it wasn't. Well, we know the money was there for Morgan Gibbs-White. To spend an outlay of 60 million on one player. Eze will be slightly more. Well, go show it. Go prove it. And not it could be Eze, like I said, Leao, if it was, his wages isn't the problem. It'll be the transfer fee that Milan would do. But we'll see how this football club move. But I will say, going back to the game now, I will say straight away, I think Archie Gray was the best player on the pitch.
Yeah, we agree.
I think he was.
Yeah.
That first half, for sure.
He looked a lot more comfortable in the midfield role that he was asked to play. Again, people will say it's pre-season, it's a friendly, whatever. But it was the brightest we'd seen him. And do you know what? Defensively, at times we looked sharp again, but it wasn't the best game, was it? It really wasn't. There were some passages of play that were really good, but you could see in this game, and again, it was a weaker team to Arsenal, that there are improvements that Frank needs to work on. And like we said, pre-season is getting the structure right, getting the passages of play, getting your fitness, getting all that ready. Obviously, when we play PSG and Burnley, it will be the first 11 that he can pick, the strongest, and it will be a lot more intense, a lot more serious, and we'll see then. But there were definitely areas that need improving that we could see from this game.
Yeah. James Maddison aside and the number 10 aside, like from what you've seen in pre-season so far, 5 games now, 2 against quality opposition in terms of Arsenal and Newcastle. How, with PSG, just over a week away?
Yeah.
How are you feeling going into the new season?
I'm still confident going into the new season with Frank and what he'll do, but what I am concerned about is the lack of creativity. I mean, Tell with that finish. Do you know what it reminded me of? Now, I'm not saying... Do you remember Timo Werner whenever he went through one-on-one? He just did not have the confidence to put the ball in the back of the net. You could clearly see it. That's what I got from Matisse Tell with his finishing there. He was one... I didn't know... I heard you at half-time saying, was it given offside or not? I didn't see that. So, again, I don't know, but... You'd still expect him to be playing to the whistle kind of thing, and if he didn't hear it, put that away.
100%.
He'd need to work on that. But yeah, the creativity is the biggest issue. I've got no concerns over defensive play, like we saw against Arsenal where we had to defend the lead. Obviously, we didn't defend the lead here. The midfield didn't defend as much as it did against Arsenal, but again, that was a North London derby, but there were definitely things in this game that need work on, and the lack of creativity and the concern. You look at it, we've got two strikers in Richarlison and Solanke, who at the moment aren't fit. Richie has come on and been fit at the moment, but we all know what could potentially happen with Richie at any moment.
Yeah.
Solanke, we just can't keep fit.
It's true, though.
So you look at it now, it's left winger, left back, striker, and that's before we even speak about outgoings.
And a 10. And a 10.
Yeah, well, sorry, and that. So I've got no concerns over, like I said, Frank. I have got concerns over the creativity, and the biggest concern, as always, is right now, what do Tottenham Hotspur's board do? Yeah. How do they back a manager? And also, players out. We keep... Players out is becoming a bigger thing the longer it goes, because we have to get them out to bring in numerically and financially, whatever. But right now, Spurs have got, just under a month to get all their ducks in a row and get the team ready. And unfortunately, it does look like Maddison could be missing for a large proportion of this season. We hope not, but I think we'll be hearing that he is. So Spurs need to act on this day that should have all been about Sonny, has been taken over a bit by the injury, hasn't it?
Yeah,
for the future. For the future, I mean, not. We all know it's Sonny goodbye, and that will be the long-lasting moment. But moving on as a football club and going on to what is the future that unfortunately Son is no longer a part of, it's getting everything sorted, and let's hope we can.
Amen to that.
Just a bit more coming out from Thomas Frank in the press conference regarding James Maddison. He confirms that Maddison has injured the same knee that was injured towards the end of last season.
I knew it was his knee. I saw him grab the knee. I knew it was the knee.
Yeah,
so that is really gutting,
mate. That could be his career over. Second injury, same knee. That's devastating, man.
Yeah.
So now, do you know what? Now it will show. Like we've said, like I've said when I've come on here on any show, I want to see what this new reshuffle board could do with Vinay here, Charrington here, and obviously with Lange and Frank. We heard that Frank made the calls to Paulinho and Kudus. On that long haul flight home, pick up the bat phone, do whatever you got to do, and start making deals, and hopefully we'll see a couple of incomings this summer. This week, because it's gone from we've got time to get things sorted to no, we've got no creativity, and we need serious quality there. So let's see what this week holds. But at least the lads are on the way home now, and let's hope incomings come in. And Sonny, all the best in whatever you do, wherever you end up. I've just checked; they're not coming to. We've already played LAFC. Have already come to Toronto, so I'll have to wait till next season to see him live. But yeah, it's let's get the creativity.
Might have to go to Montreal, Daigle.
Yeah, who knows? I think you said he is coming to Montreal, so maybe road trip. I think it's only a 4-hour drive, so it's doable. It's doable.
Oh, that's nothing for Canada.
Yeah,
mate, that's like popping out and going and get some milk.
Yeah,
I'm literally just going to go out and get some milk. But yeah. So listen, Sonny, the takeaways are: thank you, Heung-min Son, for everything you have done. Nothing but the best for the future, and hopefully we'll see you in a Spurs shirt again someday, or not Spurs shirt, but back at the stadium very, very soon. And hopefully you get a farewell. Archie Gray, stand out. And hopefully this is what we're going to see of him in the future. Defensively, look okay in this game, but I'm absolutely confident in the defence. Midfield needs Benton. Just quick as well, Benton called with this contract. He didn't look at it today. So there's another one. Creativity is definitely needed. Quality now. Get well soon matters. And come on, you Spurs.
Big up, Dago. I'll see you tomorrow.
One thing I just want to mention before I go, I'm going to put a link in the chat to a YouTube show that's going on at 5 p.m. Dan at the Hotspur Hood is going to be doing a charity stream shortly in a few weeks for a young guy that needs support. So I'm going to drop the link at 5 o'clock this evening on UK time. Dan, the Hotspur, will be having a conversation with the mother of the child to explain what the illness this young kid, I think his name's Reese, and how we can support him. So if you're not doing anything at 5 people, give this show a watch. I will put the link to it in the chat straight after I've come off.
Big up, Daigle. Everyone do.
See you later on. And Ben, I'll see you tomorrow.
Up.
Everyone enjoy your Sunday.
Take care, Daigle.
Big up. We got just a couple of super chats to get into just before we move on to our next guest. We've got one from Korea. I can't read that, but it says, thank you for loving Sonny at Tottenham. Come on, you Spurs. Thank you very much for your very generous super chat. It does mean a lot. And Andrew Din just says, I just bought my tickets to LA Galaxy versus Houston Dynamo. Can't wait to see Son in the flesh in Houston.
Jeez.
Unfortunately, you've bought tickets to the wrong LA team, because it's LAFC, not LA Galaxy, that Son is moving to.
I didn't even realise they were two LA teams.
Andrew Din, get a refund on those tickets now. It's LAFC you want to go and see. Oh, God. Let's move on to our next guest, and it is Mr. Stelios from the Spurs 5. Stelios, how you doing, my friend?
How you doing, chaps? How you doing, Amir? Long time, bro. You good?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just worried about James, mate, and where we go from here, really.
I'm worried about Danny Kiriakou inviting me to come and play paddle against you. I don't even know what paddle is.
You're in
which
for
game?
it then,
Which game did he invite you to? When did he invite you?
Last Friday, he goes, do you want to come and play paddle? And I said, well, sounds a bit dodgy. What's paddle?
It is a bit dodgy.
It's a great game, Stel. You should get involved.
Nah, you'll be addicted. First time you play, that's it. You'll be sold.
Probably pull my hamstring or something. I don't know.
Probably, yeah, probably. But Stel, can you turn up your mic a little bit?
I don't know how. It's on full from what I can tell.
Okay.
Can you not hear? Maybe if I put it nearer. Is that better?
Yeah, it's a bit better there, yeah. But Stel, look, a very emotional day for Spurs fans today. The legend Son Heung-min has played his last game in a Spurs shirt. Yeah, just tell me what Son meant to you and what he's brought this football club.
Sonny is the best striker in a partnership in Premier League history. Kane and Son have got the record as the best attacking duo, and he achieved that in a Spurs shirt. You know, I think the most telling thing is after the game, when he got substituted, it's not the reaction he got from his players. Look at the reaction from the opposition.
Mm-hmm.
The Newcastle players hugging him, patting him on the back. They acknowledge that he's a legend. You don't do that for any player. The opposition, the coaches, the subs of the other team, the players, they all treated him exactly how the Spurs players treated him when he went off, and that's when you know you're something special. And he deserved a lot more in terms of trophies for the caliber of player he was at Spurs. But he's gone at the right time. I think he should have gone a couple of years ago because he began to decline. But I'm glad he stayed now because he left as a trophy winner in a Spurs shirt and captain of the Europa Cup winning team. So I'm glad he did stay. But it's the right time. He's doing the right thing. The club's doing the right thing, and he's leaving in good spirits. And you know, just like Sir Alex Ferguson, when he left Man United, he left them winning a league title, and that's the memory of Sir Alex. The memory we will have of Sonny is you were the captain when we won the Europa Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
and
good,
you know,
good.
you still like the term legend as well. It get banded about so easily in football these days, doesn't it? Like this one's a legend, that one's a legend. But he truly epitomised in every aspect of his being, from the way he conducted himself to loyalty, to winning that trophy, to the amount of goals and assists, the combinations that he had on the pitch. When he dug us out in the hard times as well, when Harry Kane went out, was injured. You know, he is the true definition of a legend, isn't he?
Yeah, and he stepped up in big games. He scored the first goal when we beat Arsenal 2-0 in the Carabao Cup to knock them out at the Emirates. He scored the 2 goals when we got that brilliant draw at the Emirates in Ange's first season. He scored that wonder goal against Arsenal during COVID at White Hart Lane. You know, he was a big game player. He scored goals against Chelsea as well, United. So he's a legend for what you said. He's a legend for turning up in big games. And he's also a legend because of the absolute respect that he showed. And I think that comes from his culture. But he's probably one of the most respectful football players the Premier League's ever seen.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Nobody else that can quite do it like Sonny.
There was this clip, I think it was the year before last, where he was interviewed by Rio Ferdinand after a match, and when he put the mic down, the way he put the mic down was in a way to make sure that it's not thrown or dropped or broken. It's like, respect the equipment. It's little things like that. You think you're such an honourable, respectful human being, and it all goes to building the character that people fall in love with, and the character that people say, you know what, you're a legend, man. So,
yeah, absolutely. And
do you think still that, obviously he's got some playing time left in him, in his boots over in the States, wherever he goes? Do you think you can see him coming back as a ambassador to the club later on in life, Sonny? Do you welcome him back?
Yeah, as an ambassador, absolutely. 100%. Why can't he be like Ledley King?
Yeah.
Do that for Tottenham.
100%.
He's got to want to do it, of course, as well.
That's another question.
Listen, if I was a professional football player and I was Son, then I had another few more years in my boots to go and play elsewhere. Once I retire, I just want to go live in Barbados for a couple of years. I just do nothing and just relax and enjoy life, But
mate, if he decided to do that tomorrow, I'd be happy for Sonny to do that. I think he can choose what his path is now, where he goes in life.
yeah,
Do whatever you want.
He's made his money. He's worked hard. He's been successful. He's won a trophy. He's won a trophy for his country as well. Let's not forget.
Yep.
He won the Asia Cup. So yeah, Son's in a good place, man. And like I said, I'm glad he's leaving in good spirits. He's not leaving like some of our other top players like Carrick, Modric, Kane,
Berbatov.
So many quality players have left us in shitty circumstances, but he's actually leaving in a really good way, and I like that. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah. So that is a really lovely tribute for the man, the legend that is Son Heung-min. So that's the good. Let's talk about the bad with James Maddison, because he goes down. Reoccurring injury to his knee that we saw at the back end of last season in that Europa League run. It's devastating, isn't it?
Guys, I'm going to get straight to it. We need to sell him. He needs to be.
You
sold.
can't sell him now. No one's going to buy him now.
But once he's fit, the guy's going to be 29, and he's just so injury prone, and it's becoming like Sessegnon. Honestly, I feel for him because he's a talented football player and he's our best number 10. And I think we're better with Maddison than without him. But you can't have a player like this at the club and ever build anything, When we signed him from Leicester, the Leicester fans called him a third.
Yeah.
He's a third, the story, a third good,
Yeah.
a third injured. Yeah. Okay. It's the same at Spurs. It's the exact same thing. And just when you think, you're going to get a Maddison that's going to be pivotal to the direction of our football team, and he's going to be a really big influence. We're a couple of weeks away now from the Super Cup final. He's out. He's going to be out for what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 months? God knows. And it's going to be the history of Maddison at Spurs. This is his history at Spurs. He's always injured, and if we put emotion to one side and we look at it as what is in the best interest of Tottenham Hotspur football team, we've got to sell him. We have to sell him. Once he's fit and ready, he'll stay for this season, but in the summer, I'd put him up for sale, guys. I don't want to. I'm not saying it because I don't like him. I think Maddison's one of our top 3 players. I think Maddison's he's a character as well that you need at the club, and he's a talented football player. But if you're always injured, if you're not available, what's the point? If you're not really available to play, what is the point of being at the club? And guys, my honest opinion is get him fit, finish the season, and sell him.
Yeah. I know it sounds a bit harsh what you're saying, Stelios, but I understand where it's coming from. At the same time, if you're looking at what's best for Tottenham Hotspur, at the end of the day, we need someone in that 10 who's going to be reliable and going to be there week in, week out. But it does hurt me to hear you say that, to put him up for sale, because he has been so pivotal in the way we play and so important in that Europa League run. He was very important. And
I think Stelios is right. I think he's right, to be honest. I think we do need to look to sell James Maddison. You can't keep a player at the club that's as injury prone as him and as important as he is as well. I really believe it. I think he's right, to be honest.
I get where both of you are coming from. I just think it's harsh, though. It's harsh.
Think of when we were really, really good in the Premier League. It was under Harry Redknapp, and it was under Pochettino. Redknapp had Modric, Pochettino had Eriksen in the 10.
Yep.
How often did they miss a game? You could count on one hand how many games they missed.
It was rare, yeah.
And that's what was key to those teams being so good. You had that maestro, you had that locksmith that was always available, that could dictate the attacking play. We haven't had that at Spurs for quite a few years now. If it's not Maddison, it's Kulu, then we try Bergvall, then we try playing with a false 9, and we can't get that stability of consistently good football and good play without that 10. You saw last season when Arsenal lost Odegaard, the problems they had at the start of the season.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not saying it because I'm trying to sound harsh. I'm saying it because I'm thinking, how do we go forward as a team? We need a 10 that can turn up at least 8 out of 10 times in the season.
Who's that 10 for you then, Stel? If I had said to you, here's 70, 80 million on the table, can go get him, who's your guy?
Look, players like Nico Williams and Eze would be amazing. Are we going to get them? Probably not.
Williams has signed, hasn't he, at Bilbao?
Yeah. So we're probably not going to get them. But those two would be fantastic. Jack Grealish is a player I'd look at, but are we going to match his wages? I don't know. One player that I do like, that can play in that role, and he's a player we can get because it's from a smaller club, is Kluivert from Bournemouth.
Is he not more of a striker, though, Kluivert?
Kluivert's more of a 10, I think.
Yeah?
He plays in the 10, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what's realistic.
With Jack Grealish,
from Bournemouth, could we get a player that's at a smaller club and say to him, come to Tottenham, you're going to play Champions League football, you're coming to a bigger football club, we can pay more wages than what you're at Bournemouth, and you'll be our main man in that 10. Why would Kluivert not come to Spurs if we match the transfer fee requested?
With Jack Grealish, Stelios, Man City obviously want to get him out the door. So would you be accepting of a Jack Grealish loan move if Man City was to subsidise some wages, get him in for a year just on loan?
100%. We've done it with Paulinho. I think, look, if we're going to stick with Frank for the next 3-4 years, and I say that with caution because normally after 18 months to 2 years, the whole fan base has turned. Get him out, right? That's the normal. That's the normal direction we go in. But if he is going to be here for longer, then there's no issue from me this year bringing in a couple of players on a loan who we know can do the job, who are going to be good, whilst we figure out long term the targets and getting those targets in. Really, we should have done that already and had them in for this season. But it's clear that's not going to be the case. So if we can get, that brilliant word we love at Tottenham, a stopgap.
Don't start with that, Stelios. Do not start with long gap.
You give me visions of Clement Longley.
Bloody hell. I saw him playing the other day in the... Oh, my God. Long gap.
Longley, Danjuma, Werner, stopgap. Long gaps, mid gaps.
Oh, my days. Please, no. Please.
Oh, my God. But if it's a 1 year, kind of, let's call it a placement filler, right? If you can
Yeah.
get a placement filler in for a year that is proven with Premier League pedigree, with experience, which is what Paulinho is, and Jack Grealish will be that. If you can get him in for 1 year, whilst we figure out, right, that's the 10 we're going to go for, that's the number 6 we're going to go for, I'm all for it, guys, because it's better than what we've got now.
Yeah.
The
No, it's
question
true.
is, what Jack Grealish do we get? Do we get the Jack of Villa, you know, or do we get the kind of, I've done it all now, I've won the treble, City Jack? Which Jack comes to Spurs?
I think Man City is a very, very pressurised football club to play for. The demands are extremely high, the expectations are high, and you've got a manager that demands you to play his way, no other way, or there's no way. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I don't think Frank's that kind of manager. I think with Frank there is some freedom, and I think with Frank he would be excited to work with a Jack Grealish because he knows what that could bring to the team. So I think we'd get the old Jack Grealish. Maybe not on day one, but I think over time you'd see the old Jack Grealish. The only concern I've got with Jack, it's the only little concern I've got, is he does also get injuries.
He does
also pick up a couple of niggles here and there, so that would be the only concern. But I'd be all for it if we got him, 100%.
Me too. No, me too. If we could get Jack Grealish, bring him in. You know what? He's the only one apart from Eze that I would say I'll be excited about. If we got Jack Grealish now, I'll be excited for him to come into that position.
But still, 5 games now in pre-season, 2 against serious opposition in Arsenal and Newcastle. How are you looking now towards the season? You know, PSG just over a week away in the Super Cup. Are we ready?
Look, I'll repeat what I said when I came on off the Arsenal game. I'm not getting excited about this season, but I'm not getting angry about it. I'm just going to let it play out and see where we go with it because... And, you know, I got a bit of flack last week because everyone said, oh, you're being negative after we beat Arsenal. I wasn't being negative. I was just saying it's one game. Let's see how we go. Because you can see today how the mood has changed from that Arsenal game very quickly. And this is what I was trying to say last week. We can't get caught up in the drama. We've done this before. As soon as the manager comes, oh, look at Ange Ball. Look at the passing football. You see what happens when you get a manager that can coach. And look what happened a year later. And when Conte came, top 4, we're back. And then it collapsed. I just want to, for the first time in a long time, I'm just going to bite my lip and just let it play out. I'll tell you what I thought of today's game. And then I'll tell you what I think of where we're at. I thought today's game was similar to the Arsenal game, where we look really solid at the back. Okay, once or twice there's a bit of lapse of concentration from one or two players, but we look more solid from set pieces and we look more, what's the word? Not composed.
Structured.
Organised. Yeah, structured, organised at the back. In midfield, I think we're more compact. There's not big gaps open everywhere, and we squeeze the game and win the ball back to transition into attacks quite well. The attacking third's awful. Our attacking lineup at this club right now is so average. It is the concern, and I think that's down to a mixture of not having a 10. I think it's down to not having a proper striker. Again, Richarlison today gets put through by Odegaard, misses the target. Okay, he was offside, but mate, you got put through. At least finish. In the wide areas, I don't think we've got too much. Kudus looks like he's going to do well. Odegaard looks like he's got a lot of potential. But Matthias Tell, guys, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry to say it. He's Werner 2.0. £35 million down the drain for this guy. And I said it last year with Werner, and everyone's like, oh, you've gone too soon. I'm saying it again with Matthias Tell. I think we've wasted £35 million on this guy. I'm praising Kudus. I'm praising Odegaard. I can see potential there. I really can. But with Matthias Tell, I think we've made an absolute mess of it. And with Richarlison,
Do you not think he's just playing out of position though? Like he's not a number 9.
Ben, I've not been impressed with him when he's wide either. I just think for that kind of money, we could have done a hell of a lot better. I don't rate him, guys. I don't. It's just my opinion. Well, I mean, the season will prove whether or not he's worth the money or not. But I just don't see it. With Odegaard, I see it. I see where we can go with him. I see even that little through ball where he dinked it between two players to feed Richarlison through.
Yeah.
It's things like that you say, you know what, we can get something here from this player if we can just work with him. I don't really see that with Matthias Tell. Kudos, I see him beat a man, and okay, the end product will come eventually, and the movement off the ball from the other attackers has got to support him more, but you can see what Kudos can bring to the table. I just don't see it with Matthias Tell. I don't see what he brings to this club.
A lot of work to do from now until the end of the transfer window. You know, in my opinion, you need a left winger there. You need a striker in replacement for Richie. You need a number 10, and probably need a left back as well.
By the way, talking about wing backs, Jed Spence is just getting better and better and better. You know?
Agreed.
That boy's defending, his power as well to muscle players off the ball. For me, Jed Spence has got to start for Tottenham Hotspur. He's really, really developing
Instead of
into
who?
Udogie maybe. Injured.
Ideally, you want Spence on the right, but Porro's doing well as well. So I would probably start him on the left, guys. I think I don't know how we start a season without Spence. He's proving to be the most consistent defender we've got at the moment for me. I really, really am impressed with what he's doing, and he's a shining light in that defence as it stands. Plus, he's got pace, so if we need to recover, he's got it in his skill set to get back and recover and support the team. So that's a player for me that I'm really, really enjoying watching at the moment. And you know, look, like I said, to answer your question, Ben, 5 games in, I think we're going to be harder to beat than what we were last season. I think we're going to be more robust and defensively more sound. So in terms of beating Tottenham, I think teams are going to have their work cut out for them. In terms of us beating teams, I don't know where we're at yet, because from what I've seen so far, that final third is very, very average. And I think that's going to come down to a mixture of, can we get some more quality players in, but also Frank needs to earn his money and develop these players, because
absolutely
he developed Mbeumo, he developed Wissa, players that no one had heard of. Well, you need to develop Odebert, Frank, and you need to develop players like Yang, who came on for a bit. So it can't just be we've got to go and buy lots and lots of good players. The manager, as we criticised Conte and we criticised Ange and others for not developing players, Frank needs to develop some of the existing players at the club as well. So if Frank can develop and we can bring in another talented forward type player, I don't see why we can't have a good season next season. Why not?
Stell, you didn't mention Tell there in those players that Frank can improve. Is he beyond getting
beyond
there?
Development?
Beyond development for you?
Never say never, right? Never say never. I said Ange would never win the Europa, and I got that one wrong. So
there you go.
Never say never. Yes, he can develop Tell, but do I think Tell has shown enough that he could be developed into that player? No. Whereas with Odebert,
you can see it.
When I watch Bergvall, when I watch Archie Gray, when I watch Odebert, I look at those and I say, do you know what? If a manager could just work with them and just get them to focus on A and B, there's potential to develop a really good player here. But when I look at Tell, guys, I don't see it. You tell me, what do you see in Tell that gives you hope? What do you see in Tell that makes you, you know what, there's a player there? What is it you see? Because I can't see it.
See, I see his ability to take on his man.
Yep.
I see sheer work rate. I see a young player trying his utmost, and I think there is something to work there with Tell, and I see really good crossing ability as well. Look at that cross in the last game against Arsenal, on the money for Mickey van der Ven, who really should have put it in the back of the net. So he hasn't blown me away as a Spurs player. I'm not sitting here and saying he's been incredible, but I just feel like there are a few green shoots there that you could potentially work with.
And for me, still, I actually like the look of him before we even signed him. When he was coming off the bench for Bayern a little bit, I thought he was looking quite exciting. But that was in a Bayern team that was creating chances for fun, every few minutes, another chance. So of course he looked good there. For me, I get both of your positions, because on one hand, Still, I get where you're coming from. You know, the finish today.
Amir
kind of
loves
a
to sit on the
bit-
fence, doesn't he? Amir's such a
No,
fence.
I am sitting on the fence. No, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is as well? It's because he's young still as well. You know, when someone's 19, 20 years of age, that kind of age, for me, you're still developing, not just as a player, you're not learning your trade, but also as a person, as a human being. And for me, last season, when he kind of made that passionate, you know, approach towards the fans when things weren't going so well, I like that about him. So for me, my heart's telling me, give him a season, let him try, let's see how he can get on, let's find his right position. But then on the other side, I'm saying, well, maybe, you know, I'm kind of agreeing with Stel. 35 million is quite
He's
a lot
20
of
years of
money.
age, people.
Yeah, but
He's
that's
very
the thing.
young.
Yeah, that's
Very
the thing.
young.
20 years old, man.
He's not Timo coming here in his late 20s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's the French Timo. But at the end of the season, we will be able to analyse better, and then we can say, right, guys, where we're at with Tel. There's one more thing I want to say before you bring on the next person, because I know you've got more people to go through, and that is, right, I've always defended Romero, okay? I've always defended him when everyone else shat on him. And today, I have to say, right, Ramires grabs him by the neck.
Yeah, he does.
Like, grabs him by the neck, and Romero's like, push him off, like, what are you doing? And Ramires comes again. If Romero had grabbed one of their players by the neck, all hell would have broken loose. Romero's
100%.
a thug. Romero's out of control. He's a liability. Guys, come on, people. Are we going to... Romero did so well in that situation not to punch Ramires in the face. You know that?
He did.
I want to put some respect, because it was a moment that came and went, and it, you know, it's not really a talking point, but I'm making it a talking point. Romero did so well to keep his temper there, and to not react, because if Romero had done that, you'd see all the other YouTubers from other clubs today saying, "Oh look, Romero, he's out of control again," you know. So respect to Romero today for not losing his rag, and he had every right to lose it as well today.
You know what? There is such a narrative about Cuti Romero, which I think is so misplaced, right? And I think you need to be taking a closer look. These Newcastle players are borderline thugs every single week in, week out. They are way more over the top. They are way more over the top than a Cuti Romero is, and what you see week in, week out. And no one talks about it.
Joe Linton, dirty.
But look, still, go on.
Look, that's it. I just wanted to get that little defensive praise for Romero. But I'll leave
Back
it on
your
this,
captain.
You know.
Back our captain, Stelios. Come on.
Copa America winner twice. World Cup winner.
Yes.
Europa Cup winner. Man of the match in Europa Cup.
Yes.
And we've got fans out there that want to criticise him. Like, this guy, he's a good defender.
He's
a
Rolls
good
He needs
defender.
to sign on the dotted line. Still.
Rolls
He needs
Royce.
to sign on the dotted line.
I hope he does. I like. Listen, I've always loved Romero. And do you know what? I like it when he gets a little bit rough. I like
too.
a football player to have that in him. So, I'll leave it on that, because that's a good note.
Big up, Stel.
There
Thanks
we
for
go.
coming on
Take
today,
care,
mate.
Stel. Good to hear
We'll
from
see
you,
you
buddy.
soon.
Big up, guys. Enjoy your paddling.
Cheers, mate.
See you on the court soon, mate. See you on the court soon. Maybe it's 50-50.
Big up to Stelios.
You know he's going to be sold very, very soon, man. First game.
Got a super chat here saying we need to go all out for Morgan Rogers now. If you can get Morgan Rogers at Aston Villa, I think that would be a very difficult thing to do. Yeah, I'll definitely do it. But look, let's move on. Let's bring Mark in.
Big up, Mark.
How you doing, Mark?
Just a little somber today. Just to wake up to this game and knowing it's the final game you're gonna see Son in a Spurs jersey. Just I can't believe it's happening, but it was gonna happen any day. It was gonna happen soon. And just never ready for the day that he leaves.
Absolutely.
No.
And you know, we spoke at the end of the Arsenal game on Thursday, and it was a different feeling, let's say, after winning a North London derby, albeit a friendly. Let's start on Sonny, because it's the only place to start today. Just tell me what he means to you, what he's brought to Tottenham, what he's brought to your life.
Well, to start, I mean, he's the reason why I'm even a Tottenham fan to begin with.
Wow.
And this wasn't even in any of his Spurs showings either. The reason why I was uh, a Tottenham fan was I started in summer of 2018, the World Cup. Um, I'm a big Mexico fan. I'm since birth I was given a Pumas jersey from Liga MX, and I was just very in that bubble, in the CONCACAF bubble, just in Mexico. Keeping up with all the Mexican players, and World Cup rolls around. Uh, Mexico, Sweden, Germany, all in a one group, really stacked group. Now that we think about it, looking back, and uh, when I saw him for the first time, like properly saw him for the first time, his freaking banger against Mexico, and I was like, wow, this guy's really good against Ochoa, which is considered like our greatest ever goalkeeper. And he saved, made saves against like Neymar, Lewandowski, to name a few. He's a great player. And then seeing how easily he slots in one on the bottom corner against Ochoa, and him completely outstretched, unable to do anything to go against Sonny. It was just amazing. Although we won that day, I was like, wow, I need to keep an eye on this guy. And as the group stage goes on and on, um, we needed somebody else to win for us because we didn't win against Sweden, and it was dependent on who's gonna be eliminated. Final game of the group stage was Sonny's Korea and against Germany, and I watched that game and I was like hoping to God, please, 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 Korea, please. And he finished them off at the last minute, like, and his final goal pretty much sealed the deal. And everybody, I mean everybody, it was on the news, it was all over social media, it was here in the States and in Mexico, a lot of Mexicans that really watched the national team. We were so happy. We were so overjoyed that he was able to finish them off and eliminate them from the group stage because they knew they were eliminated, but they did us that service, and I was like, wow, like who is this player? And it kind of led me to Spurs. It just led me to Spurs, and then I started watching more. I couldn't watch as much as I am now, just because at the time couldn't afford it, streaming services and all, and watching it on cable. Now it's on streaming. So, um, but I kept up with them, and I watched him, and I've actually made friends through him, through being a
That's
Spurs fan,
amazing,
through
isn't it?
Sonny, yeah, and like like I made a friend from Korea, he lives here in the States and works here in the States, and he's just like he's brought a lot of things together for me. I have a friend from high school that me and him are Spurs fans, and we enjoyed uh just such a long career that he's had, and it's just been such an honor, a joy to watch him uh just play, you know.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
incredible. I mean, that's the emotional bit from today. Kind of like sad that it's over, but also just unbelievable, filled with pride, looking back on the last 10 years of what he's brought us. But we do have to talk about the devastating news today of James Maddison. Looks like it's going to be a long injury. Reoccurred his knee, the same knee that took him out of the Europa League final. What's your thoughts on the Maddison injury, and where do we go from here?
Oh my God. I don't even know where we can really go from here because most of the good attacking mids are pretty much bought up or already been courted by other clubs. The only real way that we can really do something is to get a blockbuster transfer or a surprise transfer from out of nowhere. We need to put the money down, and we need to put the money down now. Now,
Yeah.
if it would be really nice if we could get Eze from Arsenal, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen for me, unless we really put money down and we really somehow get some real convincing, and we can sell this project, to him. I think just an amazing player. At Palace, but like it would be really nice if we could get him right now. Like right now, we need him more than ever. Um, we this just like shows how also how fragile our attacking third is just as is right now. He was kind of the fulcrum of pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Everything went through him. Everything passed by him. Even last year when we were to cycle the ball through, whether on from left side to the right side to the left side, it doesn't matter. He had a hand in it. He had some sort of hand in it, and he was pulling the strings. We need somebody like that. We do really need somebody who could pull the strings and set us up for goals.
Mark, one thing that's just popped into my head, I don't know how you'd feel about this, but what if we did something a little bit different? What if now, given the James Maddison injury, we moved Kudus into the 10 and we get another winger? We get like a Liao or, in Dreamland, Rodrigo or somebody like that to come in. And that way you're looking at your attack and you're looking at Kudus, Rodrigo, Liao, Odebear, Richie, Solanke. Do you think that could be an option for us?
Maybe. Given that he has really good dribbling, I think it would work in theory. It just depends if he has that brain for it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got to have that special brain for it.
I hear that. But for Ghana, he plays 10. That's his position. That's where he plays for Ghana. That's where they like him.
Yeah. Every game he plays at the 10
Every
for Ghana,
game he plays 10.
Then maybe we could probably get him up to speed for that. I think that would be a good idea. Regardless, though, I think we need somebody on the 10 just in case, because what if we actually need him on the wing a little bit more? Per se, like right when Christmas comes around, maybe we have a couple wingers that are down.
We need to bring in a 10 and a winger. Probably.
Yeah, and that's why I think Eze is perfect, because he could play both. He
is perfect.
We can just shuffle anybody around, even mid game. We could just shuffle the players around and see what works, and just keep our opponents on their toes.
And if you notice something as well with Eze, if you notice the amount of transfers that go on between London clubs, it also means he might not need to make a big move, up to the north, up to Liverpool, anywhere.
Everyone doesn't mind selling to each other in London, apart from if it's Tottenham are involved.
Yeah, that's true. Look at the amount of Arsenal and Chelsea, mate. They basically give each other players every season. It's crazy.
For real.
So I really hope we get Eze over the line, Mark. I'm with you. I really hope.
I mean, we have the money now. We have the cash to stump it up. We just gotta do it and convince him. That's it.
Mark, we were having a conversation with Stelios just before about Maddison, about potentially looking to sell Maddison.
It's a harsh one, man.
When he's back fit next summer, would you think the best course of action would be to try and sell Maddison?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. The only way I can see us selling Maddison right now, like I'm just saying, as like the way I see things right now, is if we have his replacement, or are really courting somebody who could replace him, that can be, like somebody amazing.
Yeah,
I really like Matters. I really do. But if he does, also another thing that would probably, kind of seal the deal for me, if he gets another injury similar like this, or any other injury like that, I think that's it. Like he's on a thin line right now, and he's starting to look like Richarlison. Like he's great when he shows up. He's great when he shows up, but like now we're just gonna struggle to just even get him here. Yeah, this is gonna be a big problem.
Can I just play devil's advocate for a little bit, guys? Because it's now a lot of people are saying Madders, sell Madders. What about players like Alan Shearer that came back from a terrible injury, career changing injury, and comes back and becomes one of the best strikers in the league? And Maddison is only 29, so if he comes back, halfway through this season and gives a good half of a season, and he's still got a good few seasons left in his legs, like, are we not jumping the gun here a little bit, lads?
Yeah, that's why that's why I kind of put these terms for myself, like the way if I were to run Tottenham, I feel like we gotta keep him, but like, cause that's all we have right now. There is no real replacement ready right now. Like I think I want to still hold out hope, but right now he's on thin ice. That's how I feel. Like I can give him the benefit of the doubt. I can give him that. Like, but you're really pushing it. Like, and I think also the way that he's re-injured his knee again.
Yeah.
It shows that we shouldn't have been playing him. And I think it's because of this pressure against PSG, like to get him ready, match fit and ready to go play against PSG, which I think now we just made the problem worse.
Yeah,
like
worse.
just as we wanna get him out there, and the harder we go, we just mess it up even worse.
It's like a curse, man. Honestly, Mark, I don't know. I don't follow any other team, but I don't think any other one gets the same amount of injuries that we get.
It's devastating, man. It
really
Yeah, I mean, like as a big club,
Yeah.
I think we've got it really bad. I think also another reason why I think a lot of also clubs don't have it as bad as we do is because they have loads of money and they have like insane squad depth. Like for example, like City, they have a new layout every other week. They can just swap anybody else out who's remotely in danger. They have a little bit of discomfort, and they can just swap them out like that. Snap of fingers, no problem.
Yeah.
And just ready to go, like parts to a machine. We don't have that. We don't have the insanely crazy squad depth. When you have somebody like Jack Grealish, who I think he's still a pretty good player. He's pretty good. Who's on a bench? That shows how deep your squad is. And I think with the schedule and everything, I think we are playing a little bit too much for the squad that we have. And I think this is going to come back to bite us every time until we really get the investment that we need and actually seriously invest in our squad depth. Otherwise, we're just going to do this over and over and over and over again.
I can't take any more managers, Mark. I can't. I can't take. I want Frank now for at least a decade, like Sonny, at least a decade minimum.
Yeah.
Please.
Like right now, and this is all on the board. This is all on the board. They control the money.
100. Not just the money, Mark. They control even more than that. But yeah.
Mark, always a pleasure to have you on today. Great chat as always. And we'll speak to you soon.
Big up, Mark.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Big up to Mark. Is that it? Yeah. That is it. For the fan show, so I want to say big up to everyone that did call in today. Still over 1,000 of you in the chat right now.
Big up, guys. Come on.
Numbers have been monstrous today. Once again, the We Are Tottenham RV.
And wait, Ben, is it next time in Udine?
We got Bayern first.
Oh, Bayern
on
first.
Thursday, last pre-season. And then under
Udine.
a week to go until Udine.
I am pumped.
We've got a members chat for Mr. Daigle. 57 months he's been a member for. He says, we can't guarantee his availability. We have to be ruthless as a club and get someone in that can be available regularly. He's one of the top earners too. Look, in terms of the talk about selling him, there's no talk about that right now because you can't sell someone that's injured and going to be injured for a very long time. He's an unbelievable football player. He's a player that we need to be building a team around.
He's a great lad to have in the dressing room as well. We forget about that. He's a good lad, James Maddison, man.
Leadership quality as well. But forget selling him for now. That's a conversation for later down the line. What we need to talk about right here, right now, is bringing in someone.
Yeah, that's
what we need.
That's the focus.
So,
but can I also just say one thing before we go, Ben? When we say bring in a player, it has to be of James Maddison's level or above.
100%.
Not below. Not below.
100%.
That's all I want to say.
100%. But look, today just belongs to Son Heung-min. Has been clouded with the sad injury for James Maddison. But once again, thank you, Sonny. Thank you for everything that you've brought to this football club. You'll never be forgotten. You'll be sorely missed. And we'll be watching out for you in LA. We'll probably, all Spurs fans are going to be LA's biggest fans. But
I never thought I'd have an MLS team, but I do
now. We do. Now we do. Him and Hugo in the same team.
Hugo.
So yeah, big up to Sonny. Legend forever. Captain. Forever etched in the
Thank you, Sonny.
record books for Tottenham Hotspur.
Thank you, Sonny boy.
But we'll see you all very, very soon. Back in the studio tomorrow, player ratings and all that kind of stuff. But that is it from us today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on.